Good day, everyone! Welcome to our English 114, the technical writing class. For the information of everybody, we are now in Chapter 3, the visual design. Specifically, we are now in the general guidelines for graphics. Remember, there are 6 graphics. But my task for today is to discuss and introduce to you the specific guidelines for bar charts and line charts, and the rest will be discussed by the other reporters. Allow me first to introduce myself. I am Annie Azarcon, your reporter for today. Without further ado, let us now move on to our topic. First, we have the bar charts. Like pie charts, bar charts are easily recognized because they are seen every day in newspapers and magazines. Unlike bar charts, however, bar charts can accommodate a good deal of technical detail. Comparisons are provided by means of 2 or more bars running horizontally or vertically on the page. There are 5 guidelines to create effective bar charts. First, we have the use a limited number of bars. Although bar charts can show more information than pie charts, both illustrations have their limits. Bar charts begin to break down when there are so many bars that the information is not easily grasped. The maximum bar number can vary according to chart size, of course. This is an example of 2 multi-bar charts. As you can see or notice, the impact of the charts is enhanced by the limited number of bars. The next guideline is to show comparisons clearly. Bar lengths should be varied enough to show comparisons quickly and clearly. Avoid using bars that are too close in length because then readers must study the chart before understanding it. Such a chart lacks immediate visual impact. Next guideline, we have keep bar widths equal and adjust space between bars carefully. Take note of this one, okay? Although bar length varies, bar width must remain constant. As for distance between the bars, we have 4 options. We have the option A, use no space. Usually, we use option A when there are close comparisons or many bars, so that the differences are easier to grasp. We also have option B, use equal space but less than bar width. You can use option B when bar height differences are great enough to be seen in spite of the distance between bars. We have option C, group-related bars. Option C is used to emphasize related data. And the last option, we have the option D, use variable space when gaps between some bars are needed to reflect gaps in the data. We have the last guideline for bar chart, carefully arrange the order of bars. The arrangement of bars is what reveals meaning to readers, and there are 2 common approaches. First is sequential. When we say sequential, it is used when the progress of the bar shows a trend, while ascending or descending order is used when you want to make a point by the rising or falling of the bars. Are we all clear before we go on to the next one? I hope so. Just remember that those 4 guidelines, is to help us to create effective bar charts. We are now on line charts. Line charts are a common graphic and work by using vertical and horizontal axes to reflect quantities of 2 different variables. The vertical or y-axis usually plots the dependent variable, while the horizontal or x-axis usually plots the independent variable. Remember that the dependent variable is affected by changes in the independent variable. Lines then connect points that have been plotted on the chart. The first guideline is use line charts for trends. Readers are affected by the direction and angle of the chart lines, so take advantage of this persuasive potential. As what you can see on your screen, that is an example of line chart. The industrial sector gas prices in the United States, OECD Europe, Japan, and Taiwan on the year of 1994 to 2002 and $2003. In that example, the writer wants to show changes in gas prices over time. Including a line chart in the study gives immediate emphasis to the recent downward trend in book purchases. Guideline number 2. Locate line charts with care. Given their strong impact, line charts can be especially useful as attention grabbers. Consider placing them on cover pages to engage reader interest in the document, or you can place it at the beginning of section that describe trends, or else in conclusions to reinforce a major point of your document. Line chart guideline number 3. Strive for accuracy and clarity. Be sure that the line or lines on the graph truly reflect the data from which you have drawn. Also, select a scale that does not mislead readers with visual gimmicks. Following are some specific suggestions to keep line charts accurate and clear. First, start all scales from 0 to eliminate the possible confusion of breaks and amounts. Second, select vertical to horizontal ratio for axis lengths that is pleasing to the eye. 3 vertical to 4 horizontal is common. And lastly, make chart lines as thick as or thicker than the axis lines. We have the line chart guideline number 4. Do not place numbers on the chart itself. Line charts derive their main effect from the simplicity of lines that show trends. Avoid cluttering the chart with a lot of numbers that only detract from the visual impact. The last but not the least, line chart guideline number 5. Use multiple lines with care. Like bar charts, line charts can show multiple trends. Simply add another line or two. To help readers quickly distinguish between lines, assign a differently shaped data point to each line. If you place too many lines on one chart, however, you run the risk of confusing the reader with too much data. Use no more than 4 or 5 lines on a single chart. And that's end my report. Thank you for listening and lending your time for watching my video presentation. I hope you learned something. Thank you and God bless us all.